G'day mates, my name is Liam. Today I want to talk to you about artificial intelligence and the replacement of programmers. First, I'd like to talk about NVIDIA's CEO thinking that our kids shouldn't learn to code because AI can do it for them. Now, contrary to what this statement says, that it's a controversial statement, I don't know if it is a controversial statement because I think that a lot of people think that maybe we shouldn't learn to code, maybe we should let AI do things for us. But before we tackle that, we'll get on with the article. So first, I think we should hear him out and let him say what he has to say.
Over the course of the last 10 years, 15 years, almost everybody who sits on a stage like this would tell you it is vital that your children learn computer science. Everybody should learn how to program. It's almost exactly the opposite. It is our job to create computing technology such that nobody has to program and that the programming language is human.
Now, in some senses, I agree with him. I think that not everyone should learn computer science. I think we do need other people to go into other fields. There are so many other interesting avenues to explore, and programming is not something that you need to do to be successful. The other thing that I'd like to point out is I do agree with him that it would be nice to speak to computers as you would with another person. The issue with that is that if code becomes so abstracted that it is like a human language, then you lose a lot of the understanding you gain through using a lower level language of how computers work. But let's let him continue.
Everybody in the world is now a programmer. This is the miracle of artificial intelligence. The countries, the people that understand how to solve a domain problem in digital biology or in education of young people or in manufacturing or in farming, those people who understand domain expertise now can utilize technology that is readily available to you. You now have a computer that will do what you tell it to do. It is vital that we upskill everyone, and the upskilling process, I believe, will be delightful, surprising.
Now, I actually agree with him. I think that it is good to bring as many people up with you and upskill them as you possibly can, because benefiting everyone in society and the community at large is a net benefit for yourself. So while I do agree that those points that he brought up are very important, we do have some other things to consider. I'd like to first think about why people are creating fear about AI replacing people and AI replacing jobs. Now, first, I think that you have to look at where that fear is coming from. A lot of high-profile people are creating this fear, and a lot of them are in artificial intelligence. Now, how does this benefit them? It could potentially benefit their business. If you create a sense of fear and urgency and your product is something that needs to be used, well, you could drive a lot of people to use your product. And in creating this sense of fear, you could drive potential competitors away. People who would love to learn to code and who would create an awesome artificial intelligence or tool or software, they could potentially drive those people away from it because of the fear of AI replacing those jobs. If you take, for example, the news, if you look at the countless articles and countless news stories that they put out about how AI will replace people's jobs, well, the negative news only serves to benefit them. And what it does is drive more viewership to their articles and to their news stories so that they can get more money and more interest. Now, are there actual concerns? Yeah, absolutely. And the creation of AI tools and software needs to be done ethically. I believe AI should be trained on data which has been either created specifically for the AI itself, which has been paid for, or which is completely open source. But there are still issues with that. You have to ensure that the AI is completely unbiased when we all know that that is not the case. The people who make the AI, the programmers, inherently put their own biases into it. So there are concerns about the accuracy of the information and the output the AI produces. The other things to be considered are that AI does need limitations in order to ensure the safety of people's lives. There will be issues in the future which arise because of deep fakes which are so realistic that they could be used as false evidence. So in saying all that, will our jobs be replaced by AI? I personally don't believe any job will be. And I believe that if AI is done correctly and implemented correctly, it could be used to enhance so many jobs. The issue that I see is that there are some companies already moving to replace a lot of employees with large language models. And what happens is they do so at their own detriment. Let's take a look at this article, for example. We tried to buy a $1 Ford Bronco from AI chatbots. It didn't work. These guys went to a dealership and tried to buy a car for $1. So what this dealership did was they used OpenAI's ChatGPT and tailored it specifically for the automotive sales landscape. It was linked into the dealership system and it provided customers with highly specific and personalized information. So what happened was this Twitter user was engaged with a Chevrolet of Watson chatbot, and they were in a conversation to sell a 2024 Chevy Tahoe for an astonishing $1. And while yes, it wasn't legally binding and they didn't sell the car for $1, what they had to do was stop using the chatbot itself. And here's what General Motors had to say about the incident. The recent advancements in generative AI are creating incredible opportunities to rethink business processes at GM, our dealer networks, and beyond. We certainly appreciate how chatbots can offer answers that create interest when given a variety of prompts, but it's a good reminder of the importance of human intelligence and analysis with AI-generated content. So as you can see, by replacing people's jobs with chatbots, companies could actually get in a lot of trouble. So now I want to talk about who will maintain our software. Software decay is a slow deterioration of the software quality over time. And what causes software decay is the constant need for software to be updated in order to meet hardware requirements and system requirements. Most of the programs that exist today are written in very old languages. And by encouraging people, especially the next generation, to not learn programming languages, we are going to see a degradation in the quality of a lot of systems which we use. So if we don't learn these languages, who will be maintaining these legacy programs for us? And on top of that, who will maintain the AI and improve the AI? It'll be really wild to see AI code itself along with new features. So can AI write code for us? Well, if we take a look on the surface level, yeah, it can write code for us. But let's look at it a little bit deeper. Alright, so what I've got here is just a simple C++ program. To put this program really simply, you just enter the size of the for loop, and all it does is iterate over every single element and divides by the current iteration. With small numbers, this program is fine. But the issue with this is that if you enter a large size to calculate, it's extremely unoptimized. So here what we can do is we can ask ChatGPT on how to optimize this code for us. It gave me the initial loop and the other code which I provided, and then it said that I can pre-calculate the values outside of the loop. But where are the pre-calculated values? What is the implementation? Well, it didn't give it to me. So we can ask ChatGPT where are the pre-calculated values. And then it provides this. And if you compare my code with ChatGPT's code, corporate wants you to find the difference. And there is none. What a waste of time. But you know what? To see if it's a waste of time, try and do it yourself. Try and generate some code based on a prompt. Often when you get the outputted code and you take a look at it, it's incomplete. And you can't get ChatGPT to make complex associations with other files in your codebase. Software and programs are more than just singular files, and they require the interaction between different systems and subsystems. The other issue is we don't know why the AI chose to implement the code in this way. There are often many ways to implement the exact same solution, and we don't know the decisions behind why the code was implemented in the way it was. And on top of that, we don't know if the code will even work in our project, along with all the other modules and systems we've already created. And the way the AI generated the code for you may not interact well or even work with your system. The other issues are that we don't know the data that the AI was trained on. We do not know the quality of the data used in order to train the AI to give that output. The code could have been generated from an inexperienced developer's code or a very experienced developer's code. Either way, they could still have bugs in that code, and the AI was using that model to train it. And by using the code generated from the AI, we could be introducing more bugs into the system. And lastly, we don't know whether the code that was used to train the AI was proprietary or open source. We do not know if we're even allowed to use that code. And by using that code, we could get into a lot of trouble. Ultimately, programmers need to do more than just code. We need to be able to define a scope of the project and a feature set of what the project requires. We need to be able to retrieve and interpret requirements from clients. We need to be able to interpret what non-technical people may want in a product and implement that in code. We also need to be able to convey to the client what is realistic and what is appropriate in a given time frame for the project. We need to implement feedback from users. We need to design and architect systems and how data interacts with each other. We need to be able to integrate modular code pieces into larger systems. We need to be able to test and optimize code. We need to be able to iterate based on feedback to achieve certain goals. We need to be able to work to deadlines and prioritize certain features over others. We need to be able to problem solve to fix complex bugs and create valuable tools for people to use which solve real-world problems. And we need to be able to make creative decisions and come up with creative and innovative solutions to problems. So with all that being said, will people be replaced by AI? I don't think so. And will programmers be replaced by AI? I really don't believe that's the case. I think that AI will be used as a tool in order to enhance people's work and to make them more productive. But anyway, guys, these have just been my thoughts, opinions, and experiences on the matter. I'd be really interested to know what you guys think. Do you think that AI will replace programmers or replace anyone's jobs for that matter? How do you think AI should be used in the workforce? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video or disliked it, let me know. Subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.